What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. This is going to be part 2 of the Aristo Gets a Cool Exhaust. Now, in the last video, you guys saw where I got all the parts and we took the mufflers off and kind of forced this to happen. Built some little turn downs, and yeah, it's getting really nice out. So it's time to at least get started on this exhaust. It needs it. It needs to go all the way out the back. When it sits there and idles with the turn downs, it just kind of like, fumigates the whole car. So it's got to go out the back. It is still on pump gas, and that, stinky. So first thing we're going to start off with is getting the tips cut down to the right size, because they are super long. And that way we can get the mufflers positioned. And then the left-hand side one. So the left-hand side one is going to be to the stock piping. Now, for time constraints' sake, I might just build axle backs tonight. I'm not sure. We'll see how far I get. Now, if I am trucking along and still have a few hours to be down here, we might try and actually go after this. But I really want to drive the car a little bit very soon. Particularly Saturday, there's a Cars and Coffee. Like to take the boys to that. And I'd also like the car to sound a little bit better, because right now it kind of sounds like doo-doo. I did put it in true twins mode, and that helped. But still, it kind of sounds like it's breathing through a tin can, because the factory resonators are basically just that. They're chambered mufflers to help cut down like the different pitches of what comes out of the engine. So yeah, they're chambered mufflers. They're like a Flowmaster. They work great above 4,000 RPMs in the way that you cannot hear it, but down low it just kind of sounds like a tractor or a V6 Camaro with no exhaust on it or something like that. Not good. So let's get started. We're going to get the tips cut down, and then we're going to get the tips put on the mufflers, and then get the mufflers in place. Alright, so you guys can see the muffler's in there. It's, fairly straight or centered, the outlet here. You'll notice that it is kind of low, but that's intentional. So the big thing is the aesthetics from the side. You can see the polished muffler, and you can see I left the turn downs on there just to kind of give myself a visual of, what is this going to be like. I don't know why it won't focus, but yeah, so give me a visual of like what the tubing's going to do, and then back here what the tip is going to do. So you can see I've marked this tip, and basically what's going to happen is I think I've decided to just weld it to the face of the muffler here. I'll basically cut this all the way down to the weld, and then this 4-inch big boy will actually come in here and kind of sit, about where my mark is. I might have to cut it more than once, but that's kind of the thought process right there. So you'll see it'll kind of basically fill that cutout in the bumper all the way out. And you see this is a 15-degree angle, so I want it to be flat when it's actually welded on. So we're going to cut that at a 15-degree angle. Hopefully it's the right length on the first cut. They're going to stick out just a touch from the bumper plane here, so they'll stick out maybe to like right in here. I think it should look pretty cool because it's going to be very close to here, so it should fill this cutout really well. I'm going to do the left one first because it's going to go to the stock piping for sure, and then move on to the right hand side. So let's cut this tip that's one of the last in the United States. Look who showed up. It's Ryan.
Oh, hi.
Hi, Ryan. He spoke. Doesn't happen often. You guys should feel very, very happy. So I cut it off. Yeah. That's going to get welded onto there. I still have to cut the bits on the inside off, but that's pretty close. And fits the cutout nice. Obviously it's not welded or anything, and it's all cattywampus, but got to cut this off first because we don't care about that. Cut it down here as far as we can. And then position this on there. See if I can get far enough back. And we'll have one tip on a muffler after we weld it. Look how big this thing is. It's big. Okay. So this is kind of the general idea. You guys can see. Big tip. Nice big muffler. I think it should sound really good like this. The large tip will give you a little more resonance. And the muffler will give it a nice deep tone. It is a 3-inch in and out. And then with a 4-inch. But, so yeah, I think now the plan is I'm going to fire the welder up and tack it. Put it back up there, make sure everything looks generally like I want it to look. I kind of centered it down in there a little bit. Once I tack it, I'll try to get it moved a little bit closer to where I want it. Making sure that this is straight, this plane right here. That's what really matters the most. We can position the muffler a little bit if it is off a little. But from checking it, I think it's pretty close. So as of right now, I'm going to tack this thing. We're going to put it back up in the car. All right, so we got that tacked on there. I think it's a little bit crooked, but I think we can get away with it. So I think it looks good from the back. Just got to make sure the other side kind of matches it. So you guys can see from the side. Looks pretty rad. It's like a little bit VIP. Like I said, these are Fireball Mega replica kind of deals. Just with new style mufflers and everything. It's going to be kind of a pain to weld down in here, but thankfully running the my Furic cups, you can extend the tip way out and get where you need to go. I need to clean up in here a little bit, but I think it looks pretty good. I like the way it looks in the back. All polished and everything down in here. It's a little bit close up in here, but I think once I allow it to be on the hanger, it'll drop just a touch, and that's all we really want, is just to drop just a touch once the hangers are on it. So I guess I should probably start working on taking all this stuff off in here and making pipes connect. All right, that's tacked up, tips tacked on. It's looking pretty good. A couple of my angles are a little off, but I'm pretty excited. I think it's going to look really good, especially on the ground with these big tips. And, you know, they don't stick out too far, a little bit, but that's kind of the style. And, yeah. I think it's going to look pretty good, especially at night when you can see the back of this muffler, you know, shining back at you. If you're, you know, following the car. So should be pretty cool. I'm excited. I think it's going to sound fantastic. I probably will weld this one up, get it completely done, and then fire in on the other one. All right, it's welded up. It's got a hanger on it, and it's where it's supposed to be as far as I can tell. Not bad. Now down in here was not real fun to get, but we got through it. And it's all welded up. Got my little hanger over here. I did have to change from the factory style to just like a rubber isolator, which is pretty typical for aftermarket exhaust systems on these. But I'm pretty excited. It's pretty tight to the bumper. It doesn't stick out too far. But yeah. Still got to do another. All right, so you guys can see I went ahead and cut the angles. I cut the end off over here. This side's on the car. It's got a hanger and everything, so we got to get this one together. That way we can get the car running. All right. I think we're onto something here, boys. Looking good. Tip's all welded up. This one ended up slightly different position, and it was kind of a pain to weld. Now we just got to connect the dots. Gonna use probably my piece down here because it's gonna end up getting cut off. And once we do the rest of the exhaust with 3" on this side with the valve. So gonna use kind of a cheaper piece that I just have. Get it all hooked up. Put a hanger on it. That's it. All right. We have 2 mufflers. We have pipes joined together. Now you're gonna ask, why did I use this old junk here? This is gonna get replaced whenever. Basically, I'm gonna probably put a V-band right here, and then once we do the rest of the 3" for this side, it will be all new through here. I had this, it was all welded already. I was like, you know what? Work smart, not hard. Get this thing done. This isn't forever on this side. The other side is all new stuff. This side, use the pieces of the turn down that I had, and that's gonna work out great. I just gotta add a hanger, and we got some rad looking pipes on this thing finally. I'm excited. Can't wait to see it on the ground. That's a big one. So I'm gonna get the hanger made, welded on, put a gasket in. I'm gonna put a gasket in there, and then probably let the car down and we'll listen to this thing. All right, gonna put our gasket in, and then we're gonna be able to listen to this thing. I'm excited. In case you guys didn't know, Vibrant has a full lineup of like gaskets for like 2-bolt flanges, and they've got a little fire ring in here that is super helpful for keeping these things from just burning themselves up, because the ones that are just stamped out of this material without this little fire ring will more than likely develop a leak before too long. Again, this side is not permanent, but still use a good gasket. Vibrant has a full lineup. I like their stuff. Like I said, I use it because I know it works. I've used stuff that doesn't work, like ones without the fire ring, and they failed. And I hate exhaust leaks. So let's get this thing put in, and we're gonna lower it down. All right, next pro tip, wipe all new exhaust parts off before you fire them up, because any grease from your fingers could potentially get stuck on there once it gets hot. So man, am I excited. This thing looks awesome. I guess we need to hook the battery up, see what this thing sounds like. Alright guys, so I know that I did not get any clips of driving in the Aristo with the new axle backs. But that is going to come because we'll do a whole video on that. We'll take it out, set the camera up. I got to get a few friends together to help me with that. So that'll be next. And then it's going to be full exhaust time with the valve and everything. It's going to be crazy. So much is coming. Stay tuned. Let me know what you think of the axle backs in the comments below. Like the video if you enjoy fabrication content. I will do more of it on film if you guys want to see it. So I will see you guys soon for another video. Have a good one. Bye.